At the first thought, anyone will readily say pass the bill, even though it's gonna cause us to lose billions. However, at the second thought, we don't have to be so drunk in power that we fail to step in the shoes of these people. One needs to consider the fact that there's a reason for every action. As humans, we make choice based on reasons and experiences. Have you people noticed that it's my legal right? I can decide to still give birth with the new technologies around. This is not a matter of religion, but how I feel. Besides, I didn't choose to be like this. I was born with it. It is in my genes. Did I just hear I can't help my behavior, it is in my genes? Scat, fisting, golden shower, anal sex, oral sex is in your genes? Then I want to differentiate between the male chromosome and the female chromosome, so take down your genes. Alright, hold on. Have you ever wondered why the biologists and the physicists never worked out? Let me guess. Because they never had the chemistry. Do you even know why the genetics went to the dental school? He was looking for oral hygiene. See, the plant cell is about to undergo mitosis to an uninterested genetics. I guess I have your divided attention now. But I hope I did not step on your toes, sis. Do you recognize what your scientists post? Selfish. They feed you with overpour because dosing and you boldly call it gene. They feed you with sugar-coated feeds for diabetic heart and still be like, be positive. Because you will still need the X and Y chromosome to fertilize your YY chromosome, even with your so-called artificial insemination, your vital fertilization, not to mention the accident waiting to happen. So I've distilled my okra mouth. Homosexuality is not genetic. So give me some breathing space. The assertion that homosexuality is genetic is so reductionist that it must be diminished out of the hands as a general principle psychology. Get this straight, that as a house is not home, so is homosexuality not genetically influenced, also not handwired by DNA. That means that even the general public deserves an apology about the misinformation which has resulted in fear, panic and anxiety due to some so-called predicament of the new technology. Because they forgot to tell you that whatever gene involved rather represent predisposition, not predetermination, susceptibility, not portion, liability, not sequence, functionality, not destiny. Gay gene is a mess. So let us stand to admit. It's therefore a choice, not a natural cubism, an environmental attitude, not genetic behavior. This is the test for the better Edison, not the inventor. But it seems December resemble with equivocate these days. Pedulous like honesty because it's under an oath. The stomach sees because everything seems to have taken a different approach, and we conspicuously call this doom modern growth. You call anal cancer, throat cancer, colon cancer, chlamydia, alarming HIV rate, papilloma, scar defecating on another, golden shower urinating on another modernity. Seriously? All this is? Very soon society will be in absolute desperation for help, but it will be a matter of self-help. Because scar defecating on another will be in our street, golden shower urinating on another rampant, fasting and norm. Society will be battling with eating disorder, yet with obesity, because of our own insanity. But you all fighting for fundamental human rights. First of all, let's stick to fundamental. It is obvious you can't afford to fundamental issue that has to do with the mindset. What about freedom of speech? Freedom of association and advocacy, you ask? But I won't know my brother in junior high school to be familiar with the so-called cyber homosexual freedom without any sanction. My little sister one day go to the internet and type, Google, how do I satisfy my lesbian wife? How does the vitro fertilization work? Does it really cost? Do all the dust and call it right to information without any restrictions. My generation to return from school and introduce goat, mango trees, microwave that they possess the same characteristics as their partner without any iota of caution because it's freedom. So I fully support the Zambian imprisoned 2 gay men, the Ugandan detaining LGBT activists, then Nigerian arresting gay people. Yes, I do. Besides, why should the law be made an act that started off as a human abuse, taking advantage of the carnal knowledge of a man unless under the influence of alcohol or drug? So if the sodomy law of 1960 is problematic, then oral sex, anal sex and bestiality should be made a crime, punishable under the rule of law. Therefore, any individual who refuses to comply, this time should be fined and punished as a sign. Don't you realize that the hour that we've all been waiting for is due? The time to escape the unfathomable hell within? To ease political pressure, expensive commodity, eradicate corruption, and have some serious respect for the rule of law? We've become living deformation, working in absolute mutation. They take our portion for poison and take our conclusion from us and call the land fiction. But I think now is a time to spike our curiosity and be warriors that builds empathy. We can't continue to exchange gold for mirror, silver for sword. Most importantly, sanity for mental imbalance, normality for abnormality, reasoning for irrational convergence. It is time to be an agent of natural selection, era of evolution towards development, epitome of change in our society, because this makes us so welcome to the dark side. But you all get this, that we don't hate the personalities involved, but rather the act. The blasphemy, profanity, irreverence that they are associated with, and that is the fact. Morals commitment has been stained in its own domain. Homosexuality is a complete demonic demeanor, tantamount to human purity, which must not be entertained. Your self and mind has been tempered with when it comes to through covenant. You've come to a place suffering from truth and biblical deficiency. So you exchange divine dictions for doctrines of demons, sugar-coated feast for diabetic heart. You think your advancement in technology provides? Then behold, because lack of knowledge, exactly you perish. In the beginning, sovereign vocab cracked from the universe. Light was birthed with speech from the supreme being who breathed heavens on earth. Called Eden of Garden, settle on the same dust used to mold man and woman who bore the image of the infinite. Then he said, go and multiply. Then it happened, clear against him, humanity challenging divinity, mankind challenging scriptures, Homo sapien challenging nature. Guess we are ready to experience Sodom and Gomorrah. Just confess, you are out of contest. Crack the test and see. He paved the way where grace and mercy had a face with majesty, and he said, go and multiply. And you turn grace into game. You've gone against his sovereignty. You believe your technology can handle that. Then produce your own sperm to procreate. How many individuals can even afford your board system? They betrayed him from the Genesis. They kissed him, but you forgot everything belongs to him, even your wisdom. So turn back, because your society even frowns on it. For this reason, man and woman, man and woman, not man and man, not man and goat, not woman and woman, not woman and rice cooker. Name it. Just name it.